autism and PTSD are intertwined, how they react.
Shout out to Jen. She has great content. I just felt like stitching this because it's weird how I go through things and they just pop up and I just see them like as I'm going through them. But you guys saw the post on my page yesterday. If you didn't, whatever. But yeah, I was talking to somebody and they kept telling me, I have PTSD. I'm going through this. And it's like, as a person who's also suffering from their own things, right? I want to show up and be empathetic, and I want to actually, what am I trying to say? I want to be all the things that I claim I would like for people to be for me. But it makes me wonder, and maybe this doesn't have anything to do with the video, but it does, because the video was talking about autism and PTSD. Y'all go over there and watch that. But I just think sometimes, and I'm starting to see this, that a lot of people online who are autistic and have, comorbidities, as Jen referred to it, it's like they forget that they're talking to people with the same things going on. Not exactly the same, and I'm not here to compare it, but how am I trying to say? I feel like it's one thing to say it, right? And educate the people and study it. But sometimes I'm thinking a lot of us are getting stuck on saying, but I have this. And identifying as somebody who is disabled, right? And I'm not saying that, you're not disabled. I'm not saying that you should just pretend like you're not disabled, because that would be like masking and doing all the things we're trying to get out of. But I do think that there's a level of accountability that we need to take. And, maybe that's the abused part of me talking. I don't know. But there's a level of accountability that we need to take and say, well, I am existing on this earth with other people, and I would love for people to understand me. But because everyone is not going to understand me, I cannot spiral out of control. If I understand that I'm suffering from PTSD or, whatever else that you might be suffering from, it is your responsibility to kind of reel yourself back in. No, I have experiences where I had just figured out I was autistic. And at the place I was working, it was a place that I was working at the time. And I was talking to them and I was like, I'm autistic. And I was at the very beginning of the journey of self-discovery. So I kind of was like really engulfed in it. I still research things about autism, but not as much as I did in the beginning. And I remember just coming off like, I'm saying this, in retrospect, but I was coming off like, don't you guys understand? I'm autistic. Like, because it was shocking to me. But honestly, it's not shocking to everybody else. This is why I come on here and I say they don't care. People only have a certain level of concern, like, that they can put outward, because we're all dealing with our own stuff. So at what point do you say, it's my responsibility to deal with my trauma? It's my responsibility to try to reel myself in, That's all I be saying. I mean, I see it. And it's like you expect people to show up for you the way you want them to, but do you show up for people the way that they need you to? It's just a question. And not only that, the further question that I always continue to ask on this page too is, if you have sense, right? That's why I say crazy. What is crazy, right? Because if I'm crazy, that doesn't mean that I want you to treat me like I'm crazy. It just means that I'm different and I want you to understand my differences, right? I don't want to be treated like I cannot control myself. I don't want to be treated that way. I don't want to be treated like I'm insane and like I can't control myself, because when you present yourself that way, people will handle you that way. They're going to talk over your head. They're going to make decisions for you. You're going to be uncomfortable, right? So I can't gauge the level of insanity on somebody. I can't gauge that. Like I said in the last video, I'm not a clinician. I can't gauge what you've been through. I haven't been with people their entire life to know their trauma. If I'm trying to get to know you, yes, I would love to hear about those things, right? Because I'm just a considerate person. But what do you want? Do you want to be considered insane and for like to that's what I was saying in the video. Like, the person I was talking to is very performative, but the conversations that I have with them after I'm trying to decode all this stuff, I realized when I gave him a taste of his own medicine, and I told him, look, I don't care, because I've been sitting here nodding like in the video, yes. I've been sitting here nodding and going like this. I've been saying, I understand. I've been saying, I've been patient. I've been patient. And the performance just keeps getting more and more and more. But see, with the moment I said, who the fuck you talking to? And I didn't say that first. You know what I mean? Like, the moment I challenged, the craziness, and the moment that I said, because I just wanted to see. I just wanted to see if you could stop. And guess what? He stopped. Guess what? He stopped for a second and said, wait, hold on. I'm the crazy one, basically. And I said, nah, bitch, we both crazy. Then it was, don't you understand? I'm in pain. Me too. But you didn't stop to ask me. I'm just highly masked. I abuse self by suppressing my emotions and my desires and my wants, because I know that I can't just impose upon people. I cannot do that. I know that. That's unfortunate. I'm actually going through something like that right now. I know that I'm an intense person sometimes. But when I realize somebody is shying away from me, we know that autistic people don't get social cues that quickly. And when it finally does register to me that somebody is kind of shying away from me because of my intensity, at that point, it's my responsibility to go, oh, they don't like this. They don't like it. In the case that I'm talking about, I said it. This is a lot for me. I don't like it. And then I was kind of forced to, like, you're trying to still force me to put my feelings and my emotions aside to basically cater to your fragility. Why? I think that that's abusive. And then you call me abusive because I told you to fuck you. As I tell you, I'm nice. I mean, I'm not nice. Of course I'm nice and I'm kind, but I know how to talk to whoever need to be talked to like that to get you off of me. And that's exactly what I was sitting there. I was waking up to so many messages and messages and messages. You feel what I'm saying? And then at some point I'm like, and when I'm talking about this, look, I'm thinking of things from my past. I'm thinking of things that I've done to people, waking them up to 12 messages. But don't we evolve? Don't we get better and say, well, I can't do the dumping on people. I can't expect people to care for me when I'm behaving erratically, especially if you can control it. I'm not saying how often you can control it, but you feel what I'm saying? I know this person presents very, like, they're just so erratic. And I was silent. I wasn't giving them the silent treatment, but I told him, I don't know what to say to you. And the more I didn't talk, the more so then I started talking. And I realized you don't even care about the answers. You're just worried about self. So again, does it not, do we all not matter? Or is it just us trying to get people to understand our, diagnoses and, all the things that we have going on? Just, what about each other? I think I'm starting to see that we can be our biggest enemies. It's not always the people who are different from us. Sometimes it's us hurting each other. And lastly, I just wanted to add, very random, but if I do this, that is me being kind. That's why I say people don't know what kindness is. If I correct you, I care. If I ignore you and I never go back and forth and I never challenge you, that means I don't care. I care.